Have you ever felt something shifting, even when nothing around you seemed to change? That could be God preparing you for something big. But here's the truth. God rarely moves in silence. Before He blesses you, He gives you signs, nudges, whispers, sometimes even storms. In this video, you'll discover 5 powerful signs that God may be about to change your life. Stick with me to the end. It might just be the confirmation you've been waiting for. 1. Increased spiritual restlessness. You begin to feel unsettled, like your current job, environment, or routine no longer fits. There's a stirring in your soul you can't explain. Just like Moses, he grew up in Pharaoh's palace with comfort and privilege. But something inside him couldn't rest. He couldn't ignore the suffering of his people. That internal unrest was God preparing him for a higher calling, to lead a nation to freedom. This is evident in Hebrews 11:24. By faith Moses, when he had grown up, refused to be known as the son of Pharaoh's daughter. God often stirs your spirit before He shifts your season. 2. Unexpected doors begin to open. Suddenly, opportunities begin to appear. Doors you didn't knock on, connections you didn't seek, resources you didn't expect. That's not random. That's divine alignment. Sometimes, all it takes is showing up. Not with a grand plan, but with a willing heart. You may feel unseen, unnoticed, just doing the small things. But in those quiet moments, God is positioning you. He's making a way, not through striving, but through divine design. And His word reminds us, your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. Proverbs 18:16. Remember David? He was simply delivering food to his brothers, nothing more. But that small, ordinary errand placed him in front of Goliath, and eventually before a king. God opened a massive door through a simple act of obedience. So take heart. You don't have to chase the blessing. When the time is right, the right door will open. 3. Battles intensify. The warfare gets heavier. Life seems to fight you at every turn. At times like these, it's easy to wonder if you've made a mistake, if you're doing something wrong. But often the opposite is true. Sometimes the fiercest battles mean you're actually doing something very right. The Bible reminds us of this truth in Genesis 50:20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Think about Joseph. God gave him a dream, a promise of greatness, but almost immediately, life became harder. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Yet every setback was not a failure. Each trial was preparing him, leading him closer to the palace, to the very place where he would save nations. Remember this: the enemy fights hardest when you're closest to your breakthrough. 4. You're called to let go of something. Sometimes, God calls you to release something before He gives you what you've been praying for. A job, a relationship, a location, a plan. Like Abraham, God told him to leave everything familiar, his land, his people, and go, without knowing where. That radical obedience became the doorway to blessings that reached generations. This is clearly demonstrated in Genesis 12:1, where the Lord commands Abraham, "Go from your country to the land I will show you." Letting go can feel like loss, but it's often the first step to overflow. 5. A deep peace follows obedience. Sometimes, God leads you to make a difficult decision, one that doesn't make logical sense. But when you obey, peace follows. Not the kind the world offers, but a deep, unshakable calm. Like the young woman who turned down a high-paying job that clashed with her values. She was afraid at first, but the moment she obeyed, peace flooded her heart. 2 weeks later, she received a better offer, one that aligned with her faith and purpose. Philippians 4:7. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Peace is often God's quiet confirmation that you're walking in His will. If these signs are showing up in your life, don't panic. Lean in. God is not punishing you. He's preparing you. Every stirring, every closed door, every delay is making room for something bigger. More purpose, more impact, more of Him. Which of these signs are you experiencing right now? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story and pray with you. And if this message blessed you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. God is always working, even when you don't see it. Trust the process. The promise is still coming.